Oh, you got it right. Oh, y'all got it right. Y'all got it right. Y'all in the right place. Y'all are definitely in the right place. I am all with the shits today. I am all with it. You guys have been asking for it, so you got it. One on one with the great one. Yep. William Amy was good. Eric, Lucas, Raymond, Asia Green, Miss Asia Green, Smooth 78, The Nation, A1 Colossal, Jerry Bowie. Hey, what's good, Mr. Motivator, Joseph Thornton? Y'all are absolutely in the right place. You are not mistaken whatsoever. You're not mistaken. Y'all are definitely in the right place. The reason why I call this one-on-one with the great one is because you're not going to get what you get here anywhere else. You're not getting it. I believe and I know that I am one of a kind. All right? Anybody who want that smoke as it pertains to this team, as it pertains to my team, my boys, I go hard for, I rock for, bring it. I will tear that ass apart. I will rip that muff clean out the socket. All right? One-on-one with the great one. No other than Matt Mike. Any of you Matt Ryan haters, anybody who wanted with this, all right? One-on-one. I can go with the best of them. My knowledge is my knowledge is top game. Top. All right? I can go one-on-one with anybody. I am that damn good because I said so. And not only that, you guys are you the Falcons fans. Y'all make sure that I come with the facts. If I don't come with the facts and I don't come with the truth, I hear from y'all. So right here, you're going to get that. You're going to get one-on-one, all right? The one-on-one facts and truth from Mad Mike. All right? So if you guys have not already hit that subscribe button to Mad Mike Sports Atlanta Falcons Nation on the quest to 2K. What's good, everybody? But this is something that's really been like really, all right? This is something that I've been holding back. I've been holding back far too long. All right. So if you a Matt Ryan hater and you find yourself in here, this may not be the show for you. I will eat your ass alive. This is the show for that. All right. This is absolutely the show for it. I am with all of it. I am with it all. Believe that. So when it all come down to it, man, like I said before, hey man, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I've been saying a lot of bullshit, not only with the Atlanta Falcons, but with the Atlanta Hawks. We got all these fake ass fans that like you guys just we're just not even a whole 2 weeks ago. That you guys were talking about the Hawks were sorry, they were trash, and they was gonna get blown out. They didn't have a chance to beat the 76ers. Embiid was the great. Embiid was the next Shaq. And next thing you know, everybody all on board. The fake fans got to go, bro. You got to go. I don't, like I said, I don't know where you guys get this crap from. I just don't understand it. How hard is it for you guys to stay loyal to a team? Any sign just any sign of any type of struggle, any sign of pain, you motherfuckers are on the next train out of town. And then as soon as they start, like they do at the picnic, as soon as everybody start serving the food, you motherfuckers come right back. Oh, you ready? You ready with it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. I don't understand how difficult it is. Everybody was so against Trae Young. Everybody nobody really loved this guy. Nobody liked this guy. And now here we go. Everybody all on board. I see it. Maggie and I have Atlanta Hawks group 2. And it's almost 4K. And we're talking about people. The group was damn near a desert. And as soon as the Falcons, as soon as the Hawks start winning, the group get busy and people come back. Come on, bro. Where all the passionate fans at? Somebody show me some love. Give me some red and black in this mother. All right, show me some red and black in the chat. Give me some red and black emojis or something, bro. Like I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why is it so difficult to just show your team love, dog? How difficult is this? Look, Mr. Motivator. Look, man. This is what we do. I'm born and raised in Atlanta, a graded baby, okay? This is what I do. It's pumping through my veins. It's in me. This is what we do. We got people that's not even from Atlanta that's more loyal to the city, to the state, than people are like, bro, come on, man. I don't get it. And the first thing we seeing in groups like this is, this season that we starting already trash. Traded Julio Jones away, guess what? We trash. Now I played one game. You don't even know what Dean Pease is going to be. You don't even know what Quadri can be. We don't even know what Mike Davis can be. He could be the second coming of Mike Turner. And you guys have already given up on the season. We haven't played one. Just because we didn't get that trash-ass fucking quarterback from Georgia who transferred to Ohio State, and now he's a Chicago trash-ass Bear. All because we didn't get your favorite quarterback. We giving up on everything because we didn't do something you didn't like. You spoiled ass brats. Guess what? The Falcons traded away Julio Jones. I didn't like that, but guess what? So what? He's no longer a Falcon. I don't like a lot of stuff. I hated when they did Dirk Cutter, when they hired Dirk Cutter. I hated it. But guess what? I still had to be, because what? I am passionate about my Falcons. This is my team. We support our team. It's unfreaking believable to see so many people giving up on the season, and it hasn't even started yet. Why, people? All right? Let me know, why should we give up on the team? I want to know that. All right? Please, let's get some questions. Let give me the answer. I want to understand. I want to understand the mind of people who just give up. Don't even give you a chance. Just give up. Please let me know. Because I don't understand that. I don't understand that mentality. Carrie, how you doing, Horace? Reggie 2K tells sports and gaming. I appreciate everybody, man. Like I said, I just don't get it. Triple G, what's good? William Amy, all right. And look, this type of stuff. I'm tired of this Tom Brady repeat shit. We coming for this to do division this year. Tell me why. Tell me why we can't do it. If Tom Brady old ass can do it at the age of 1,500 years old, all right, why the hell Matt Ryan can't do it at the age of 36? Because I seen some lollipop. Tom Brady was throwing lollipops in the air. That ball was hanging in the air for 15 years. Talking about he can still throw the deep ball. When? Where? He don't have an arm. Tom Brady can't throw. And you guys said Matt Ryan can't throw? And the rumors out, but Julio wanted to play with Cam Newton. Have you guys seen the film? The highlights of him at camp? The dude was throwing balls out of bounds, hitting the water boy, hitting the cooler. The ball was going straight to the ground. And this is the same guy that y'all wanted, that said that Julio wanted to play with Cam Newton and Matt Ryan and stuff. What? Please. Bro, the dude was thrown to the ground. And we've been saying this for years. Mr. Beast, what's good? Mr. Beast, damn. I'm up here talking about a YouTuber. All right, Beast Among Beast Among Us, what's good, man? Look, Michael, look, I'm gonna get to everybody comments, but this is exactly it. He's already shown this. How many times do we have to continuously say, all right? How many times do we have to continuously say the man set an NFL record that has never been broke? Matt Ryan broke a NFL record. Touchdowns to 13 different receivers. No quarterback in the history of the game has done that. No one has ever done that. Matt Ryan has done that. And we're saying that he can't do it without Julio? We done been through Tony Gonzalez. We done been through Roddy White. We done been through Muhammad Sanu. And then we with Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones. And we're still talking about this dude can't do it. When are the excuses going to stop? Just admit that you hate the guy. You want him gone. Let's just be real. Matt Ryan can, the coach, Arthur Smith will push Matt Ryan, quarterback Matt Ryan, like he did Ryan Tannehill. Look, I'm just going to say, I've seen Ryan Tannehill, and a lot of people don't know this, but Ryan Tannehill is a converted wide receiver. Ryan Tannehill is a converted wide receiver. So tell me, why can't Matt Ryan at least be very good? All right? At the very least, very good. He's already good just with his knowledge. He stays healthy. Matt Ryan's good. Matt Ryan is always in the top 5 in passing. Always. Okay? Always in the top 5 in passing yards. Every single year. And we still doubt him for what? Why are we doubting him? What's the issue? Are you just ready to get rid of him? Just because you want to see a guy run fast? Oh, here come Dave. Here's Dave to save the day. Wow, Mike, you still getting caught up in the Matt Ryan hating nonsense. You don't have to defend a future Hall of Famer, do you? Come on, my dude. I do what the fuck I want to do. Okay? If I feel like cussing the motherfucker out today, this is what the fuck I'm going to do. This is one-on-one with Mad Mike, okay? This is what we do. I rant. I give facts and I stats, okay? Here we go, all right? And like I said, look, Dave, look, this is what it is. Matt Ryan, it ain't even about Matt Ryan. This is about these fans constantly, every single day. Every day, we see the same stuff. Julio Jones, all right, get more credit for this team being successful than the actual quarterback who has the ball in his hands 90% of the times. How does a wide receiver get more credit than a quarterback does? And we're talking about hatred. Why is there so much hate for this guy? I just don't get it. When you have Arthur Smith, who's one of the most brilliant minds in football when it comes down to being an offensive coordinator, one of the things that we've struggled with as an organization, was a team, it's one for a while, for quite some time, is getting in the end zone. The Falcons lack creativity. This is where Arthur Smith excels. Tennessee have been consistent, one of the most consistent teams getting into the red zone. They led the league in red zone touchdown efficiency. And for me, I think Matt Ryan is going to be even a more dangerous quarterback than he's ever been, especially when you have a guy like Arthur Smith. Do we have Henry? No, we don't. But I can tell you one thing about Derrick Henry that a lot of people just won't give any just because he rushed for 17, 18, 2,000 yards or so, everybody gonna give him all the credit. But this dude he definitely has a lot of flaws. He can't catch the ball. He has horrible hands. You can't run but so many plays with him, and somehow Arthur Smith still got the job done, even with a limited play sheet with Derrick Henry, because you can't send him out on in passing position. He's not that great. He doesn't have great hands, so there's only so much you can do with Derrick Henry. Mike Davis is one of the most complete running backs in the league. All right, led the league in broken tackles. You know what I'm saying? But everybody falls so much in love with Derrick Henry and give him all the credit, but no one even gives Arthur Smith the credit for that. Creating a quarterback like Ryan Tannehill. You talking about Ryan Tannehill? What has Ryan Tannehill ever done? Okay, what has Ryan Tannehill ever done? Not a freaking thing. So when it all comes down to, Dave, whether he's a Hall of Fame or not, like that's all cool and all, but it's to the point where fans are just, it's not even about winning games anymore, man. They just want to be right. They just want to see somebody else, and oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this question right here. Look at this. Ryan Tannehill attempted 11 passes in a playoff game. Take a second to think about this. 11 pass attempts, okay, in a playoff game. We don't have a running game. You know how lovely that would be if Matt Ryan ever attempted 11 passing game and he was a healthy quarterback? I guarantee the Falcons will win those games. With a quarterback like Matt Ryan, and he's only attempted a pass 11 pass attempts, we're winning these games. This is the important thing about having a guy like Arthur Smith. Because guess what? Yeah, Arthur Smith is going to create that balance that we so desperately need. We've been looking for a while. It goes back to, you look at the secret ingredient as to why the Falcons went to the Super Bowl in 98, 99, and then 16, 17. Time of possession, balance, and running the ball. The least your quarterback have to do, the more successful you're going to be. And when you have a quarterback at the caliber and the resume of a Matt Ryan, guess what? He's going to be even more, he's going to be even more efficient because he doesn't have to sit and watch Julio Jones run routes all game. He doesn't have to do that all game. Efficiency, we see it all the time. People try, this is what made guys like Steph Curry so dangerous with the Golden State Warriors. Because you couldn't just focus on Steph Curry because you had Klay Thompson there. We're seeing it right now with the Hawks. Everybody's so worried about Trae Young. Guess what? Red Velvet over there eating. Shout out to him for that little promo commercial, whatever it was. I love that. You guys can check it out on my Twitter feed. That was actually pretty damn dope. But this is what balance is. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's so focused on Julio Jones and what are we gonna do without a Julio Jones? I think we're gonna be a much better team. I really believe we're going to be a more efficient offense without that great player. One thing about great players is that they tend to get their way. And when they don't get their way, you see the team suffer. This is one of the reasons why, guys like LeBron James, we're saying LeBron James, when you see him, in LA, when things aren't going the way that he feels as though that they should be going, they're not winning championships. He feels as though that they should be winning. He's out recruiting guys. Now you got the same thing with Luka Doncic. I mean, Luka Doncic's already won out. He's not getting what he wants. So when you don't have that superstar that you have to consistently cater to, it makes your offense and make your team much better because now the focus is on everybody. You don't know who's going to get the ball now. You don't know if it's going to be Hayden Hurst. You don't know if it's going to be Kyle Pitts. You don't know if it's going to be Calvin Ridley. The Falcons are in such a great position right now because you have no idea what this offense is going to be, what they're capable of. And that's what makes it so much better. I love what the Falcons have been. This goes back to even 2000, 16. That was one of the reasons why the Falcons was so dangerous that year. Nobody knew what the Falcons was going to be. No, they had the Falcons going. ESPN and a lot of teams had the Falcons winning 5 or 6 games max, and they end up going to the Super Bowl. Nobody knew what they was going to get out of the team. And this is why, as an offensive coordinator, you have to consistently be, creative. When teams figure out what you're doing, go something else. Adjust. The lack of adjustments is what killed this team. The lack of adjustments is what killed Dan Quinn. And we know from a friend, he didn't want anything to do with adjustments. So when it all comes down to it, the Falcons are in such a great position right now. You have veteran players like Grady Jarrett. Grady's going to eat. As long as Grady Jarrett stay healthy, he's going to eat. Matt Ryan is going to eat. He stay healthy. Calvin Ridley, he's going to get his. Even with, Julio Jones on the team, and a pass-happy quarterback, offensive coordinator, and Dirk Cutter. And one thing I want to highlight about this with Dirk Cutter, it wasn't the volume passes. Everybody think, just because you're going to throw the ball, guys get 90, 100 catches a season. Well, one of the things that I think that is going to make Calvin Ridley and his Falcons team a much better team is that you have to focus on, you really have to, when you create better plays and bigger opportunities, you're going to have a Calvin Ridley. He's not going to have to carry the load. And that's one thing about this Falcons offense. We always had to rely on one person to carry the load. So when you have an offensive coordinator who likes to balance things out, again, you're going to have Hayden Hurst. You're going to have Kyle Pitts. You're going to have Calvin Ridley. At this point, the Falcons have no idea. It's like one of the things, too, with, former friend last year, we didn't see a lot of, Todd Gurley coming out of the backfield. And you actually spoke on this quite a few times, where when was the last time we saw that wheel route that Todd Gurley ran so infamously? Like he's been doing that for years, that wheel route. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that from him. Now we got an offensive coordinator who's going to put these running backs in position where they can succeed. Quadri Olderson is one of those guys. He's a tough runner. He gets those tough yards. He can throw first down. He get those touchdowns. That's what he does best. Mike Davis is an all-around back. That's what you do. So now you have creativity. You don't know what to expect for this team. And I'm just talking about the offensive side of the ball. So defensively, man, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. And Dave, absolutely. Spreading the ball around is always the best way to go. And like I said, we seen like one thing, I think the Falcons got, carried away with is, I really believe that 300 yards for Julio Jones, that was the worst thing they could have did for this offense. And stay with me when I say this. I believe that that 300-yard game for Julio Jones was the absolute worst thing that ever could have happened in offense. Because when we saw that he put up 300, that's all that they wanted to do. It's pass, and we just abandoned the run. We didn't even think about the run. Everybody look at the 2016 team and want to get back to that form, but one thing that we did in 2016, we had balance. That's something that Kyle Shanahan understood. He understood balance. Just because you have a Julio Jones, and he learned this from 2015. 2015, Julio Jones had 138 receptions, over 1,700 yards. That's too much for a wide receiver. That's way too much for a wide receiver. 138. He almost set the NFL record that year because we got so infatuated with great players. All right, you got to spread the wealth around, and this is what the Falcons have done, and this is what they're going to continue to do. This is what this regime is about. Everybody has to share the load. Everybody is going to be held accountable. Everyone will be held accountable. So absolutely, Dave, that's exactly what it's all about. Eric, but this time we will have a top 10 defense and offense. Well, if you know anything about me, I can give two craps. I don't give a damn about a top 10 defense. I don't care about a top 10 defense. It's one of the most overrated stats, I believe, and overrated rankings in football. I don't care anything about that. I don't care. We've seen time and time again, top 10 defense, top 5 defense, these guys get to the playoffs and they end up folding. Why? Because they're tired. If you can't get timely stops in the playoffs, what good is it having a top 10 defense? You got to get turnovers and key stops on third downs. Get sacks on third downs. All right? You can't get a sack on first down and then end up in third and 25 and give up the third and 25. So what good is that? You have to be opportunistic in the NFL. Get these key stops when you most need it. The Falcons have not had they haven't been plus in the plus minus as far as the turnover ratio in quite some time. And if it wasn't for Matt Ryan, it would be much worse than what it usually is. The defense don't get turnover. If it wasn't for Deion Jones, we wouldn't get any turnovers. If it wasn't for Foye Oluokun, we wouldn't get any turnovers. So we need a complete team that's going to be able to get those key stops when we most need it. Because this is one of the reasons why we were 2-7 in games that were one possession away. One possession away. All these guys were 2-7 in one possession games last year. 2-7 in one possession games. So the Falcons were in a lot of those games. We could have easily been a playoff team if we just learned how to take the ball away, get those key stops and key situations. That's what it's all about. Key stops and key situations. Although Matt Ryan is our quarterback, I want to draft his replacements next year. He can't play forever. Well, I don't agree with that at all. I'm not drafting a quarterback just because he's old. Like, you got to put yourself in a position and you got to set the new quarterback up to be successful. Everybody want to draft a quarterback, and then when you get the quarterback, you suck for 4 or 5 years like the Texans. So what good is having a Deshaun Watson if your defense sucks, if your team sucks, your front office sucks? What good is drafting a quarterback? You're just wasting talent. We've seen time and time again in Dallas, wasting talent. You have a good quarterback and you're wasting his talent because your defense sucks, your front office sucks. You can't figure out if you want to do this and you do that. What good is that? Set the foundation for the quarterback before you get to that. I'm not drafting a quarterback just because he's old. This is why teams fail. This is why teams fall like the Rams. The Rams gave up on Jared Goff. They literally just drafted this guy. They literally just drafted Jared Goff, and he's already gone because they didn't put the right system around him. They didn't have an offensive line. That's one thing, the Rams didn't. They didn't build the offensive line. They didn't. If it wasn't for Aaron Donald and Todd Gurley, the Rams would not be as good as they are right now. Let's be clear about that. If it wasn't for Todd Gurley, if it wasn't for Aaron Donald, the Rams would be a poor organization. You have to set the foundation for these quarterbacks. So, yeah, I'm okay. If the Falcons were to come, if they were to, if the Falcons were to be an organization where you're talking about, they finish below 500, then maybe you start to think about, the Falcons drafting a quarterback. But you have to set the foundation first. I think the Falcons are doing a very good job of setting the foundation first. You can't think about the future when your present freaking sucks. How can you bring in a quarterback and the offensive line sucks? How can you bring in an offensive quarterback? How can you bring in a quarterback and you can't run the ball? Why would you bring a quarterback if your offensive coordinator sucks? Why would you draft a quarterback if your general manager has been notorious for mistakes? You see what I'm saying? Like this, these are the things you have to think about. And this is one of the reasons why I was so against drafting a quarterback. I don't believe in any of these quarterbacks for this very reason. Sunshine has Tim Tebow as a damn tight end. Think about that. Sunshine has a first-time head coach. Urban Meyer's a first-time head coach. Let's think about that for a second. Those are not smart ideas. They're hoping. They're wishing. I'm not in the business of wishing upon a star. Set the foundation. This is why the Steelers have been so great. This is why the Patriots, the Packers, they set the foundation first and then they go draft a quarterback. This has been the recipe for success for years. You can't just draft a quarterback and wish upon a star. I see everybody in here enjoy. Yeah, man. Like I said, even you go back to where you go back to how the Falcons even built this current team. They did it all wrong. They wanted an offensive juggernaut, and they put all their resources in the offense. So that's exactly what you're going to have to do when you have a quarterback. You want to make sure that quarterback has every ounce, all right, everything that he needs to succeed. So what good is drafting a quarterback if you're only going to have so much cap room next year? We're going to have a little bit more room, but 23, outside of 2023, that's when cap really free up. We're not going to have as much cap room. So the Falcons have to set the team up for the next quarterback. And then, again, this is why you've seen teams. You see right now, that the Green Bay Packers. They already saying that, Jordan Love is already a bust, and you spent the first round pick on him. You could have used that for offensive line and the defensive line. But you drafted a quarterback that sucks. So you just gave away $20 million to a quarterback just because you wanted to move to the future. You see how that doesn't make any sense? You have to put yourself in position to succeed. You got to establish the trenches before anything. Michael Walker, this is something that myself, Jew Talk Sports, Just K Styles, this is something that we've always said. You have to establish the trenches before you bring in anyone. You can always trade assets. All right. You can trade up, and if you feel like the quarterback, you can always trade second, third, your first rounder and pass it, to the future. You can always give up those. We gave up two or three first round picks for Julio Jones. We moved up 6 spots. We gave up 2 first round picks and a whole bunch of other stuff for Julio Jones. We can do that. We can get another quarterback. If there's a quarterback that they really like out there, it's not impossible to do that. But we had already had an established team at that point. We had a quarterback. So you can make those moves when you have an established, offensive line, defensive line. At that time, we still had, we were kind of transitioning away from John Abraham for the most part, but, we still had a pretty good defense under Mike Smith. He was still pretty good. So you have to establish yourself before you draft a quarterback. A lot of people just say, okay, let's draft a quarterback and he's going to be successful. What if he doesn't make it? There was literally 12% of quarterbacks, all right? And I knew it was under 20% of quarterbacks that have been drafted out of the last 13 years that have been successful. Less than 20% of the quarterbacks being drafted out of college have been a failure. Less than 20%. Okay? 20% of quarterbacks in the last 13 years have been a failure. That tells me that building a defense, building an offense, having a great coaching staff is much more important. Because quarterbacks do not grow on trees. You're not going to see another Tom Brady. You're never going to see another Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Peyton Manning. You're never going to see these guys. We just saw the Colts quarterback, Andrew Luck. He retired because the Colts built their team the wrong way. They didn't set the foundation. They waited till he got the quarterback, and then they wanted to give him an offensive line. He was already beat up by the time Quentin Nelson got there. It was too late. So you have to establish the trenches before you even get to that point. I don't want to see this again. See Matt Ryan being like he and Russell Wilson in the last 6 years. These guys have been the most hit quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't want to have to wait to build the offensive line. I want to build the offensive line first, build the defensive line, and then, okay, let's see what this quarterback is about. I believe in this guy. And then give him a shot. Give him weapons once we feel like he's the real deal. But you have to take things, like you said, you gotta build the trenches before anything. Bro, look, Amy, look, bro. This team wanted to like this. I don't. God, googly boogly. I don't know how many times that we've seen every draft. We're wondering why the hell aren't we drafting a defensive lineman? Why we got Grady Jarrett? Why aren't we going out and giving Grady Jarrett a running mate? Why are we not giving him a defensive tackle that actually, that's actually worth something? We had Dontari Poe, and those guys was a dynamic duo. You know what I'm saying? Grady Jarrett here. Those guys was a dynamic duo, and we let him go because we didn't want to give him $8 million. And we ended up giving that $8 million to Mohamed Sanu. And you see how that turned out. Could have had a pretty good defense if we just gave Dontari Poe at least something. Could have had another shot at getting to the Super Bowl if we would have given Dontari Poe $8 million. Nope, we wanted to give that money to the offense. Got to stop building this team to be offensive juggernauts. That's no longer the way that you build teams. You have to have a well-balanced team. The defense has to have just as much, all right? They have to have as much talent, just as much talent on the defense side of the ball as the offensive side does. Jamon Brown, like, oh my God, bro. Like, this is a great point right here. Instead of drafting offensive lineman and defensive lineman, we went out and signed Jamon Brown. The guy who sacked his own quarterback. The guy during the middle of a play, he was fixing his gloves. During the middle of a play. The dude was in the middle of a play. He stopped in the middle of a play to fix his gloves. This is the guy who we signed. This is the GM that was responsible for building this team. James Carpenter was absolute trash. A journeyman. And we signed and gave him, what, $20-something million? And now we in the dead cap hit for signing him. You see how this works? If you draft well with the trenches, you will not have to worry about, finding a quarterback that's going to be elite constantly. That's always going to have to get us out of those, those difficult moments. I don't know who is Robbie White. Who the hell is Robbie White? Who the hell is Robbie White, dog? Robbie White. Roddy White? Who? I don't know who Robbie White is, man. Well, towards the end, Thomas Dimitroff got complete control because this is one thing that I want to reiterate for people. It wasn't so much that Thomas Dimitroff was doing terrible towards the end. He had no one else over him to watch him. Because at that time, he was pulling he was pulling the and this is, you go back and you listen to what Arthur Blank said during the press conference that, everybody that there wasn't going to be a hierarchy. Everybody has a say so in building this team, and they got to come to an agreement as far as who these guys are going to, who they're going to sign, who they're going to draft. At that point, Rich McKay was handling business with building the dome, building the stadium, building the Benz. He wasn't running the team. Thomas Dimitroff had free reign to do whatever he wanted. This is one of the reasons why you saw Scott Pioli left. That's the real reason why he left. It was because of Thomas Dimitroff. He left because of Thomas Dimitroff was pulling a power trip. He was making all the calls on the offensive side of the defensive side of the ball. And I'm going to give Dan Quinn a little bit of a break because he wasn't getting the weapons that he needed to succeed up front. So he had to go and draft guys that would aid, the secondary because he wasn't getting those guys. I love Calvin Ridley to death, and Drew said this yesterday. I love Calvin Ridley to death, but we didn't need Calvin Ridley. We didn't need Calvin Ridley whatsoever. I mean, we see Russell Gage right now. I think dude was like a 5th round, 6th round pick. We did not need Russell Calvin at all. So these are the things that we're talking about. These are the things that we're talking about. We did not need him. You got to build the trenches. And this is why the Falcons right now, they have guys like, Chris Lindstrom. You know what I'm saying? Chris Lindstrom. You got Caleb McGarry, Matt Hennessy, Jake Matthews, Jalen Mayfield. These guys are still pretty young. You got to see what these guys can do. We haven't seen what these guys can do. The offensive line. We don't even know what these guys really look like as a run-first offense. These guys can be a much better team than what we've offensive line that we've accustomed to seeing. Because we know when hard times roll, guess what Dirk Cutler's going to do? He's going to call a pass route. He's going to call a pass play. When all else fails, if we don't get a big play, he's going to call a pass play to get that big play. Instead of trusting your running backs, trusting your offensive line, and them making plays. And this is one of the most underrated aspects of being a coach. You have to trust your offensive line. You have to trust your players to do what they do best. Cordero Patterson, Quadri Olison. These guys are pretty good players. We don't know if we don't give them a shot. How do we know what these guys can do? We don't give them the opportunity to make plays. We wasted Ito Smith. We wasted Quadri Olison. We wasted Todd Gurley and made him look much worse than what he actually is. He still has something left. Is he the Todd Gurley of old? Absolutely not. But he still has something left. So we're going to see what this team is really about. So if this team ends up making the plays that we in the running game that we want to see, we know what the problem is. Thomas Dimitrov and Dirk Cutter. Simple as that. So if you guys got any questions, let them questions float. Let those questions. And William Amy, look, I'm the type of person, man. If you got to do all that talking and dancing and all that, like I believe he's going to be a pretty good player. I don't think the Falcons would have drafted him if he wasn't a good player. I know he's a very good player. He makes plays on the ball. As far as like going up and getting it, that's something that Matt Ryan hasn't. If you look at Matt Ryan throughout his entire career, he's always fared well with tight ends and wide receivers who can go get the ball and not wait on the ball. And this is one of the things that I've been critical of Calvin Ridley. He's not one of those guys who goes up and go get it. So if Calvin Ridley can add that to his resume and his repertoire, he can be even more of a dangerous threat because Calvin Ridley is already a very good route runner. So if he adds that, that aggressiveness and attacking the football as a receiver, he's going to be that. But Frank Darby is already that, in my opinion. That's what I think that stands out more. But I don't care about all that dancing. And look, I've seen so many guys dance on the football field and they end up be the first one to fumble. So I like that's all cute and all. Like Arthur Blank said, look, you haven't played one down in the NFL. All that dancing and all that stuff, that's all fun and all. But until I see you on the field, opinion is just opinion. But I do like what I seen him on film as far as Frank Darby is concerned. But you guys continue to support your boy here at Mad Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation. Head over to Atlanta Falcons Nation. Help us on the quest to 2K before the season starts. September. All right, September. We're trying to get to 2K before September. We're sitting at 15. I'm sure we can get another 400 and something, 480 people to head on over there. So you subscribe to them and you can help us, on our next goal. This O-line is under. Ooh. Hey, man. Ice cream man, like seriously. One of the things that I love most about what I'm hearing from the Falcons and Arthur Smith is that the offensive linemen are speaking up. The offensive lineman is speaking up about, he understands what it's like to be offensive lineman. And he's calling plays and he's catering to the offensive line. And it's one of the things that I've always stated. Offensive linemen they like to hit. These guys are 6'6". A lot of these guys 6'6", 6'4", 300 pounds. They don't want to go backwards. They want to use their big girth. They want to use their big bodies and go after and punish these guys. All right? They want to punish. Punchers want to be punched. They want to punch. They don't want to be hit. Okay? Most guys don't want to be hit. You want to do the punching. All right? That's the whole point of being football. You want to hit. You don't want to be hit. And that's what offensive linemen like to do. So under Arthur Smith, he's going to have these guys being much more aggressive, doing what they do. And, you got to bring that attitude. One thing that I've always stated, too, is that the Falcons, they always had to have some type of motivation to go out and be angry about something. Whether it's going to San Francisco, playing Kyle Shanahan. They only play like that when they had something to fight for. You know what I'm saying? Why like, this is football. You should always be inspired to knock somebody's head off. You should always be, up and amped to go against the Saints, the Bucks, the Panthers. Like, you should always want to punch them in the mouth. Those are your rivals. So when it all comes down to it, man, I think Arthur Smith is going to bring that nasty mentality that we're going to punch you in the face before you hit us. We're not going to wait on you. We're going to do the punching first. We got to do the hitting first, and that's something that the Falcons have not done, especially with the running game. Wallace Smith, what's good, pimpin'? And I see a question. Hold on one second. Yeah, I saw it. Somebody asked, when do we draft a quarterback? Oh, hold up. Ooh. I just saw it. All right, here you go, John Davis. Oh, God, it's you. So when do we draft a quarterback? Oh, my God, man. Bro, if you can tell me, okay, somebody, this is some homework. K-Styles like to give y'all some homework. I'm giving you some homework right now. How many quarterbacks in the last 3 years that have actually panned out to be megastars, to be superstars? All right? The last quarterback that we've seen that actually panned out to be as great as they hyped him up to be was Patrick Mahomes. That's it. Baker Mayfield was supposed to be the next Drew Brees. And all they do in Cleveland is run the ball. So why are we so anxious to draft a quarterback versus building a defense? You build a defense, you don't have to worry about the quarterback throwing 40 times a game. If you build a running game, you don't have to worry about the quarterback throwing the ball 40 times a game. Balance. We worried about the wrong thing. We worried about drafting a quarterback when we should be worried about building a defense. We should be worried about building having a good offensive line. You can draft a pretty good receiver. Not everybody's going to be Julio Jones, but we know we can find a Calvin Ridley at 27 pick. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're so focused on replacing Matt Ryan when we need to be focused on building the defense. We couldn't stop anybody in the Super Bowl. They scored 27 straight points. We could not stop anybody. They scored 27 straight points in the Super Bowl in a quarter. Okay? In a quarter. It was 3 minutes left in the third quarter. So you might as well just say one whole quarter. They couldn't stop anybody. They gave up 27 points, and we worried about drafting the quarterback. We need to be worried about us getting a stop. The Falcons had the 5th worst passing defense in the history of the game last year. Why are we worried about building? Why are we worried about a quarterback? That's the wrong mentality. This is our 3rd head coach in the last 13 years. Think about that. This is our 3rd head coach in the last 13 years. Some coaches don't train. They don't train. Bill Belichick been the coach of that team for 20-some years. We done been through 3 of them in 13 years. And we worried about drafting the quarterback. We got to build the team properly. Even the Ravens, you go to the Ravens team. Harbaugh been there for like the last 10 years or so. It seems like he's been there for the last 10 years or so. And we just hired a new coach. And we've been through 3 offensive coordinators. And God knows how many defensive coordinators. And we worried about drafting the quarterback. Priorities, people. Build the team the proper way, and then that quarterback is going to come. This is what happened to Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a 7th round, 6th round pick. He wasn't a 1st round pick. They built the team the proper way, and they cheated, but they built the team the proper way, and Tom Brady got better over time. Build the team the proper way, and your quarterback will come. You remember the old movie, Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come. That's what happens. If you build it, they will come. Quarterbacks will come if you build a great defense. You will have a quarterback that can get those, get you to the playoffs. A good running game. If you build it, they will come. You're going to have success. But you have to have a good defense first. But to answer your question, when are we? I don't know. The best guess I can give you is 2023. That's the best answer I can give you at that point. Because it's going to take, seriously, I think it's going to take, the Falcons are going to sit back and figure out when these guys can actually, we got to see. That's a wait and see. I know it's not a popular thing to say, but we got to wait and see. We don't know what this team is going to be right now. It could be 2022 if this team completely bombs. I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that's going to happen. But it's a wait and see. I think we have a very good team. Mike, do you think Darby is going to be an impact player this year? Also, do you think we can sign a defensive free agent? I don't think Darby is going to be a very. I don't think we got too many weapons, and I don't think this offense is going to be one of those offenses where we're going to have to rely on a Frank Darby. Can he make some plays this year? I believe so. I think he can be one of those guys that you can go after him. You can kind of, use him in the goal line situations or whatnot. Kind of how we use, I want to say Hayden Hurst. Use him in the end zone and those types of things. I think he has that type of skill set to make big throws, big catches in the end zone, big third downs or whatnot. I think he'll be that type of player, but I don't think he'll be an impact player. As far as defensive free agent, I don't think the Falcons are really into that. I think maybe if we were to get somebody, it would be a guy like a Justin Houston to kind of add a little bit more pass rush to the defensive line. Do you think our special teams is going to have a huge improvement this year? Well, Cordero Patterson is one of the best. He's one of the best special teamers and return man in the history of the game. So I absolutely believe. I call him, Devin Hester Jr. He sees a hole and he's gone. Don't get this guy a crease because he see it, he's gonna go. You're not catching him. So I think just adding him alone, I think he's going to be a terrific player for the Falcons special teams. I truly believe that. Do you think the Falcons will win a Super Bowl before Matt Ryan retires? I don't like predictions. Um, I'm not. I don't do predictions. Oftentimes we're always wrong about it. But what I will say is that the Falcons have everything at the present moment, to be able to get them to the playoffs. And once you get to the playoffs, as we see with the Atlanta Hawks, that you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. So as long as you continue to build those trenches, guys like Tyquan Graham, Marla Davidson, John Kaminsky, those guys, Deion Jones, Grady Jarrett on the defensive side of the ball, it's like anything can happen. You got AJ Terrell, who I think is going to be a terrific player. Anything can happen. Anything can happen once you get to the playoffs. So I don't like making the Super Bowl comparison, but you hear me say all the time, chemistry is what wins championships. You have to have chemistry, you have to have coaching, and obviously you got to have the talent. All right, you got to have that one or two superstars on the team, and you see it with the Hawks. Like nobody would even think the Hawks had a chance to beat the number one seed in the East, and the Sixers pretty much they're a healthy team. The Hawks aren't a healthy team, but they believe in themselves. They have chemistry, and these guys are going out playing. So chemistry and coaching means everything. Chemistry and coaching means everything. So if the Falcons can somehow, get to the playoffs, anything can happen. Anything can happen. All you need is to get hot at the right time, and anything can possibly happen. So yes, I believe that they can if they get to the playoffs. Yeah, like Ice Cream Man. Those one of the things that I don't like about Calvin Ridley's game. He's not one of those guys that goes up and get it. It's like, I saw a couple of times that he was kind of avoiding contact because he didn't want to go up for the ball. He was looking at the safety and worried about the safety being hit. So, like, if he wants to be that guy, that I believe that he is, he's going to have to improve on going and being more physical, attacking the ball at his high point, and going across the middle, getting those tough yards, not going backwards, blocking. He got to improve in the most physical aspect of being a receiver if he wants to be that guy. Look, man, that's like I said, this is one thing that I can't stand most. It's like, don't if you like this Atlanta Falcons Nation, what we about here, man, we're about passion. If your ass is a bandwagon, if you sometiming, this is not the channel for you. You can go everywhere else. We got Pound for Pound. We got Smitty's Morse Machine. We got so many other content creators. If y'all want to be bandwagon and y'all want to be sometiming, go to another team. Go to another channel. This is not for you. Falcoholic. We got so many other channels. All right. So many other. We don't play that over here. We want passionate, real fans that love that team and they're gonna stick. We're gonna give them hell, but we're gonna move on. We're not gonna continuously bash them like we've seen time and time again, like the fake ass Philadelphia Sixers fan. All right. Y'all just talking about trust the process, and now y'all sending Ben Simmons. Y'all want to send him and make him out. He's the only reason why you lost. Doc Rivers sucked as a coach in that series. Doc Rivers sucked as a coach. Embiid out here shooting threes as a damn center. And y'all want to blame Ben Simmons for everything. Nobody could stop damn Red Velvet, Kevin Huerter. Nobody could stop Kevin Huerter, but y'all up here blaming Ben Simmons for everything. Everybody, what are your expectations as far as the Falcons' records this year? Where do you see the Falcons going? Remember, they have an extra game, so they're playing 17 game this year. So let me know what you guys. Is it 17? Yeah, I think they're playing 17 games this year. So let me know what you guys where they're going with that. Hey man, like I said, I'm not as soon as I see that Matt Ryan is in decline, then we need to start that process. But we've already started the process. That's what people don't get. We've already begun the process of drafting a new quarterback. We've already begun the process. We got to establish the culture first. This culture was soft. We were soft. We've been soft. Okay? We've been soft. We got to establish a culture. Smash mouth football. Accountability. Julio Jones quit because he wasn't getting his way. Let's be real about it. He quit because he wasn't getting his way. It wasn't because he didn't believe in Arthur Smith. It was because Julio he knew he wasn't going to get his way. That's the only reason why. You have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and you leaving to go to play with Ryan Tannehill? It was about accountability. Julio knew that they was going to that like things were changing with this organization. We've already begun the process of bringing in a new quarterback. But it has to start with the coaching first. Everybody has to be on one accord. Everybody has to be at one accord to make everything a success. This is why, I love my crew, our crew with Atlanta Falcons Nation. For the most part, like, we don't agree on everything, but we all get along. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on one accord, have that same vision and that, that passion for success. If you don't share that same success, you get the fuck out of here. We trading Julio. Bye. We don't need your ass. We'll do it with somebody else. So, like, I don't give a damn about Julio. I don't give a damn about anybody who don't want to share that same vision. You got to have people on your team that share that same vision, or else it won't work. Look, man, I don't even think that is. Julio too damn old. All right, let's be real. Julio Jones wants to be baptized by the deep ball. I don't even think that's true. Like I said, I think that was something, concocted by the national media. They just wanted to bash Matt Ryan. I don't even believe Julio would say anything like that. But I do believe Julio just wanted to be catered to. He wants to be worshipped. He's an egomaniac. And once you are that great, sometimes you definitely start to kind of feel yourself a bit. And he need to be brought back down to earth. And he gonna see what life like is without playing without a Matt Ryan. Bro, Ryan Tannehill. The dude is a converted wide receiver, okay? And Corey G's, let's be real, Julio Jones is on decline anyway. Yeah, he's on the decline. Julio was unreal. Julio is a freak of nature. He's always going to be that. He's a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? He is that damn good. He was that damn good. But we've seen a slow steady decline. Everybody say the slow, steady decline with Matt Ryan, but I've seen it. We've seen Julio. Julio missed 9. Like I think he played 9. I think he missed 9 games last year. That should tell you. That should tell you everything, if I'm not mistaken. So it all come down to it, man. When it all come down to it, like I said, oh my goodness, yeah, it's like I said, it's. Whew. Let me get some more MVP here, guaranteed. Eric says Matt Ryan is an MVP guaranteed this year. I never put that type of pressure on a player, but if any year Matt Ryan has, if this is year, I think this is probably the best year because you don't know what to expect from Matt Ryan and his offense. They have a lot of playmakers, and teams don't know what the Falcons are going to do. You don't know how these guys are going to attack. So the Falcons are going to have that. They stay healthy. I think Matt Ryan can definitely put up a monster year. Do you see OTA video of 11 hugging one of the Tennessee coaches like a kid? I don't. Man, look, once Julio left, once he said that he doesn't want to be here, yeah, he can kiss my. I don't even care. I only care about what the Falcons, but I did not see that. I mean, yeah, but like I said, he can still play at a high level. Julio can still play at a high level, but high level worth $66 million. Like I can draft a younger guy who can play at a high. We say this all the time. I've always said this: you can replace numbers, but you can't replace the talent. You can't replace Julio, but you can replace his numbers. So there's always a way to replace numbers. You can't replace Julio Jones. I mean, you talk about, like I said, you talk about Tennessee, man. Tennessee. Freaking C. With Arthur Smith's play calling, he will put Matt Ryan in the best position to succeed. And number 2 will be very successful in 21 and 22. That's it, man. It's about putting the players in position to succeed. And a lot of people say it's like, they got the wrong impression what success is. Success for me is not, having 5,000 yards passing. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more so that, you have to get these guys, the players around him and put these guys in position to do what they do best. And we've often said for years, like, why aren't we using guys like, Jaden Graham? I mean, Jaden Graham. We didn't use Ito Smith the proper way. We didn't use Brian Hill the proper way. We didn't use Quadri Olison the proper way. We didn't use Caleb McGarrett the proper way. We didn't use, a lot of these guys on the offensive side of the ball the proper way. So in order for Matt Ryan to be, play at a high level, the offensive coordinator has to be, he has to know for the fact, like, he got to put these guys in position to do what they do best. How many times have we seen, Todd Gurley? We know that Todd Gurley is he's a freak of nature when he's, running that stretch play. He's running that stretch play. He has great hands. We didn't even, like, the dude had I think he had 19, 20 catches last year. Why weren't we using him last year, Todd Gurley, the proper way? Why weren't we using Hayden Hurst last year? That was time during the game where we weren't even throwing the ball to Hayden Hurst. So it's so many things But I'll come down to it. I feel as though that Arthur Smith, he understands that you have to use, the player to the best of their ability, because oftentimes we've said, even with Dan Quinn, why the hell is Dan Quinn, like, why are we not using, Vic Beasley as a 3-4 outside linebacker rather than the defensive end? He's not a defensive end. So why are we using him as a defensive end? He needs to be a 3-4 outside linebacker where he's spying, where he's blitzing, where he's rushing the passer. You need to do all of those things. So like coaches have to understand that. And I feel as though this coaching style is definitely going to do that. Sergeant AR10, what's good, man? We already have a game record on defense. We already have a game record. We have 2 game records. It's called Grady Jarrett. All right. Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones. They are Pro Bowlers. That's it. We got playmakers. That's why that's why we didn't go out and get guys in the draft. We got playmakers. We have playmakers. This guy right here, this guy right there. We got playmakers. Deion Jones is the real deal. He's the best cover linebacker in the game. We good. We need play. We got Foye Oluokun. Foye Oluokun made Ezekiel Elliott fumble 3 times in the game, all himself. We got playmakers. I'm good. We got 3 playmakers. Like 4 years ago is another one. So we good, bro. Not much, man. We haven't missed much, man. Only an hour. Only about an hour or so. Okay. How would you grade this offseason? I think it's been a success. I think offense has been a success, and if I were to grade him, I'd give him a B. The only reason why I won't give him an A because like I still love Julio Jones. It's like I don't think you can just get rid of Julio and just say, all right, we're going to be a perfect team without Julio Jones. So that's the only reason why I would say that it's not an A, because we did everything that we need to do. We got younger on the defensive side of the ball. We got younger on the offensive side of the ball. We completely revamped the front office as well as the coaching staff. And these guys are going to be held accountable. They have already been held accountable. So I give it a B. I give it a B. And like I said, the only reason why I don't give it an A is because like Julio's still Julio Jones. You know what I'm saying? You can't say automatically just because, you got picks here, you let them, for the most part, take that contract. He's still Julio Jones, and you're going to miss him in some sort of way. I don't know exactly what that is at this point, being that guy, because I think Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley are going to be that guy that we lean on. So it's like I still believe Julio is still that damn good, but we're going to have a much more creative offensive mind in Arthur Smith. Just studying the way that he calls plays is completely different from Dirk Cutter, and like I'm so excited about that. So I give it a B personally. All right, Olamaz Zacchaeus pick up a lot of former Slag. Russell Gage will pick up some of the former. Yeah, like I said, Tony, we don't have to, solely rely on Julio Jones. And me personally, I believe as though that when you when you have a guy like Julio Jones for the most part, you kind of, you know, you like to go to that well a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? I think during games, we so worried about getting Julio the ball and letting Julio get us out of this, out of this hole. We, offensive coordinators tend to rely on him and make those calls in favor of him rather than leaning on guys like a Russell Gage who has shown that he can make a play. A guy like Hayden Hurst who's shown that they can make a play. So I think you tend to rely on Julio Jones to make every single play every time you're in a bind rather than just trust all of your guys. You got these guys in the NFL for a reason. So give them opportunity to go out and make plays. Charlie Brown, I appreciate it, dog. I appreciate that. How do you think our secondary will play? Man, um, oh man, jeez. This is a tricky one for me personally because I believe the Falcons have a pretty good secondary. But one thing about Dean Pease is that his secondary, he doesn't use it like he doesn't for like you have to be smart, you have to be intelligent, and he's not going to put these guys on the island where they, occasionally once in a while, he's going to, send that house blitz every once in a while, but I don't think he's going to risk because I've seen him. I've actually seen, and I might do a breakdown on that. The types of blitzes that he does. I did one on the zone blitz and the type of thing that he does to try to not only get pressure on the quarterback, but to take away their number one option with just simple things like zone blitzes. So, I believe he's going to use a lot of zone blitzes, and the secondary is going to be asked to do a number of things. You're going to see guys play zone. You're going to see guys blitz. You're going to see guys in man. You're going to see a lot of these guys do a number of things. But for the most part, you're going to see these guys play a ton. And I'm talking about a ton of zone. And you're going to see a ton of zone blitzes. But you got to have smart guys to be able to play in zone. Like, that's one of the things for the Falcons. We had a lot of guys who can make plays on the ball, but they just wasn't that smart. Yeah, I believe AJ Terrell is definitely going to be. I think he's poised to be a star. I really like AJ Terrell, his aggressiveness, and he's going to be a major part in Dean Pease because he love aggressive corners, and he like it. Like, and one thing about AJ Terrell is that he loves to mix it in as far as his tackling is concerned. He loves to do that. We have one of the best linebacking core in the league. Absolutely. Like I said, I think we have one of the most talented guys. Foye Oluokun has shown me that he is a Pro Bowler. I thought he should have been a Pro Bowler. But, Deion Jones in itself, like I said, he's the best cover linebacker in the game. I don't think anybody in their right mind who's unbiased can say anybody who's better than Deion Jones in coverage. That dude is a damn monster in coverage. So like I said, man, I truly believe that the Falcons with Foye Oluokun. And one thing about Foye Oluokun, he can possibly be the most complete linebacker that the Falcons have. So you got Foye Oluokun, who has the size and the speed, and the brains being a Yale guy, but Deion Jones is just he's just amazing. Deion Jones is just amazing. Patrick Dale, you doing any more film breakdown of Smith offense? Heck yeah, yeah. I actually just let me know what you guys want, man. Under the film breakdown, just let me know exactly what you guys want me to break down, and I'll break it down. Which team on the schedule do you see is giving us the most trouble this year? I don't like going outside of the division, but to go outside of the division, no, I'll stay inside the division. I don't want like going outside the division. Um, hmm. I'll just say the Bucks. Yeah, I'll just say the Bucks. The Bucks, not because of Tom Brady, because I think Tom Brady, like Father Time, is gonna hit him. All right, like that's inevitable. Father Time is gonna hit you. All right, you gonna get it. You gonna feel it. Everyone, like you're gonna hit it, and it's gonna hit you like it hit Drew Brees. So it's gonna come. So I'm not afraid of Tom Brady. But I just don't think the Bucks are going to continuously be that defense that we accustomed to seeing. Todd Bowles is a very good defensive coordinator, but I think they're going to take a step back on the defensive side. So, like if I say anybody, the Bucks are the team that I'm most afraid of. That's going to give us most trouble, just because of the defense. All right, William Amy just got a he just had a dang. All right, oh cool. Shit. 5 interceptions. All right. William said it. Buffalo has a badass defense. They do, but um one thing I do know with quarterbacks, once teams tend to kind of figure out what you're doing, you kind of take a step back. So I expect Josh Allen to kind of take a step back, and they're going to need that defense because, like, at some point in time, the defense is that like they're going to figure out. They're going to figure out as a quarterback. A quarterback will get figured out. That's inevitable, and you can't continuously rely on your athleticism to get you a lot of plays. And I think that's what Josh Allen has to do, and they have to make him a pocket quarterback. Because what I saw, yeah, they're creative in Buffalo, but they use his athleticism a little bit way too much, in my opinion. And I think that's one of the main reasons why they lost, because they relied on his athleticism to get them out of hole. But like I said, man, going on an hour and 30 minutes. This has been a great show for you guys, man. It's been one-on-one with the great one-on-one with Mad Mike. You guys, this is the solo show. All right, one-on-one with the great one. Like I said, man, I appreciate everybody for continuously, showing your boys some love. But let me know how you guys like this. I will definitely do these more often, and it may be on Tuesdays. I'm not sure exactly when we're doing. I might go to a Monday. But for the moment, one-on-one with the great one, the one and only Matt Mike. That's all I got to say about that, man. I truly appreciate that. If you have not, all right, please continue. What the hell am I talking about? Continue. Damn, I can't even freaking talk. Continue to support your boy here, man, Mike Sports, man. Show your boy some love. Head over to Instagram also, man. Our Instagram is popping, Atlanta Falcons Nation. All right. On Instagram, Atlanta Falcons Nation. on YouTube. Of course, you guys like what you do, like what we doing, man. Raymond Elder, Tail Sports and Gaming. Eric McDowell Jr., Ayers 01, Ice Cream Man, Floyd Donnelly, Charles Brown, Tony Wright, Smart Ryan. I appreciate everybody. The Ice Cream Man, Patrick Day, The Nation, William Maine, Kenan Moss, all you guys. Absolutely love you guys, man. Appreciate it. But your boy, man, Mike is out, man. Peace.